It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here and this is episode number 124 of our podcast where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens. We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too, don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee house in historic Gettysburg, PA. Bantam Coffee Roasters. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
This is the absolutely delicious Honduran coffee. Has notes of baker's chocolate and cardamom.
Doesn't it get much better than this? If you want to buy some, check them out.
BantamRoasters.com.
And follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Are you ready to sip some coffee and chat?
I am. But first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Greenfire Farms. This month, you can receive 30% off if you're a first-time buyer.
I'm a long-time subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats. Orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubblies has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein. It's perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
This offer does not apply to subscriptions and cannot be combined with any other discounts.
It's a great time to try Grubbley Farms if you haven't yet. Use the code CWTCL30 for 30% off your first purchase. Try it today. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Hanging in there, waiting for some sun. April, come on, don't fail me now.
So this is kind of interesting. We've talked on the show several times about my ongoing battle with zinc.
Yeah.
Because the person who owned my farm before us just used fertilizer willy-nilly and contaminated the whole thing.
And that's one thing you have to always be careful with. If you're going to have live animals anywhere on your lawn, fertilizer can hurt them.
Absolutely. So, long story short, I am one of the members of the Chesapeake Fiber Shed. And I'm part of a group that is growing flax for linen. And I was reading an article today, and in the article I learned that flax is the plant that linen comes from, and hemp, not marijuana hemp, but the hemp that you grow for fiber. Both of those plants have very long roots, and they have been used to remove heavy metals from the soil.
Well, that's what you need to be planting.
Right?
All around your chicken runs. I don't know. Is it safe for the chickens to eat?
It's safe for the chickens to eat, absolutely. I mean, the trial garden is not going to be near the chickens.
Right.
But I may order more flaxseed and block off part of the run and plant some. And the place where the duck run is going, I may plant some there.
Yeah.
So my plan is to have soil tests before and soil tests after, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And during, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just getting geared up for the babies coming soon. I am in full-fledged, waiting for these babies to get here. It's
chick fever.
I got chick fever. I got a fever of 105, baby. I'm waiting for these chicks to come in, and I love chick season. It's my favorite time.
It is fun. You always go headlong into it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We do photo shoots. We see how creative we can get with what we're going to do with them. The girls walk around with them all the time. It's just a fun time of the year. And then after the baby season, you're like, what did I do? Now I have to integrate these chickens in.
Yes.
And then the harsh reality hits you and the baby fever's like, oh, it's done. But right now I'm in that looking forward to the chicks.
Yeah.
And the Houdans coming. I am super excited. And the Cochins also.
It is very exciting. I can't wait to see them.
And I just want spring to legit be here. Be a little bit better, a little bit warmer.
I just hope it's not one of those years where we go from cold to summer.
I feel like it could be.
It could be. It happens a lot now.
And I feel like it's been colder now than the winter, So I'm like, come on.
It's not, but it feels like it.
It does feel like it.
Yeah.
I have a funny story. Joe and I go up to bed the other night, and he looks at the thermostat because he was cold. He's like, 64 degrees. Why is the thermostat set at 64 degrees? I'm like, I don't know. It was hot, so I turned it down.
Oh, geez.
I said to him, I was like, women, they always want it colder.
Often, yeah, it's true.
But then I go outside and I'm like, 64 degrees, I'm freezing. But to sleep, I like it cold. Joe was like, you're crazy, woman. It has to be set higher than 64.
I'm with Joe on this one. That's a little cold for me.
And then I wanted to put the ceiling fan on. He was like, no. He's like, I'm leaving the room if that's what you do. That's all that's going on my end. Freezing my husband out of the bedroom and waiting for chicks.
That's enough.
So if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a written review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button. It does two things. You never miss an episode, and it's an awesome way to help us grow.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the podcast, you can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can tell a chicken-loving friend or two about the podcast. You can visit our Etsy shop, check out the t-shirts and mugs we have there. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. Become a member of that really amazing group of people. The other thing you can do to help support the podcast is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay!
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like subscription boxes?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let me take a minute to tell you about the Chicken Love Box. If you love goodies for your chickens and you need to go to chickenlove.com.
I love the mega box. Tons of useful products for my flock and a chicken tea for me.
You can't go wrong with a chicken tea. They are so cute and so soft.
In the February box, I absolutely love the red iron rooster trivet and the seed block.
I really love that egg timer. It's going to be great when I'm baking. And those chicken stickers are going to be awesome on notes I send out.
Boxes start at $39 a month. They ship immediately after your order, and shipping is always free.
Such a great deal. Don't wait. Get off the nest and click already. Use the code CWTCL50 for 50% off your first box of a 3-month subscription or more. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
Have you heard of Strong Animals Chicken Essentials? They make natural supplements for your flock.
Strong Animals has used plant-based products and natural approaches to promote the health and vitality of backyard flocks. Their products contain organic essential oils, prebiotics, and other natural ingredients to support the immune system and digestive health. Give your chicks and chickens what they need to thrive with Strong Animals health products. Visit GetStrongAnimals.com today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. Time for the Breed Spotlight, yeah.
Yeah.
So this week we're taking another dive into the
Appenzeller Spitzhauben.
It's been a popular breed recently. A lot of people have been talking about this chicken.
I love this bird.
And rightfully so. If you follow some of the pages on social media for one of the cutest chickens I've ever seen, you're going to be pleasantly surprised, and you're going to love this chicken as much as we do.
I really love this bird. So the Appenzeller Spitzhauben is a light-bodied chicken from Switzerland, and this is the most remarkable thing about them. They have this forward-facing crest that looks like a wild mohawk.
It's a mohawk. So if you like punk rock, you're going to like this chicken. This chicken might be for you.
Is that how that works? So they're a very unique European heritage breed, and we feel like they really deserve a lot more recognition and attention. They're currently listed in the threatened category of the Livestock Conservancy's Conservation Priority List.
Boo and hiss.
So Appenzell is a region in northeast Switzerland, and it's nestled into these beautiful pre-alpine rolling hills.
Is this place on the list of where we're going to visit all the different chicken breeds?
We should.
So we're going to, the Mediterranean, we're going to Switzerland, we're going to England, we're going all around the world to visit where these chickens come from.
Chicken Lady World Tour.
Oh, yes.
Appenzell is the smallest canton in Switzerland, and it is very well known for its agricultural and rural character. It's a popular destination for hiking, for cross-country skiing, which I'm not doing.
I'm not doing that either, so we'll be good.
Tasting locally brewed beers.
I'll be doing that.
And it's also famous for Appenzell Swiss cheese.
I love Swiss cheese.
I do too. I can't eat it.
I'll eat yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this area was home to several early monasteries.
Oh boy.
And it is believed that somewhere around 1500 or so, monks developed the Spitzhauben breed.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I know you love a monk.
I love myself a monk.
The bird was developed particularly for egg production. That was their primary function. So the foundation breeds for the Spitzhauben are unknown, but most sources, and I think this makes sense, most sources speculate that a Brabanter and maybe a Crevecoeur à la Flèche were likely foundational breeds.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. The Appenzeller Spitzhaubens are obviously named for that region where they were developed, but Greenfire Farm it's a really cute explanation for the rest of the name. So Spitzhauben are ceremonial hats that are worn as part of the elaborate costumes that the women of the region wear.
Right.
And they sport this large crest on top of the bonnet in this traditional outfit.
Okay.
The crested birds became known as Appenzeller Spitzhauben because of the crest.
Okay. It's a nice little story.
It's a cute little story. Yeah.
Or we could say that there were some bald monks that
Oh
wanted
my
a mohawk. I like my story.
Yes.
Either way, they have the coolest mohawk. They could have a rock band. That would be great.
They could. You need to stage them in like an album cover.
Oh my God, I would love it. I would have with the mohawk and a little guitar around them.
Oh my
God. With a mic. I could totally see this.
Spitzhaubens are considered standard-sized chickens. There is a bantam version, believe it or not.
Oh my God. They have to be so cute.
Even though they're standard-sized chicken, they are quite small-bodied.
So let's look into roosters weighing in around 4.5 pounds. Hens at 3.5. They're almost bantam size there.
Are almost
when we
bantam
say
sized.
Light-bodied, we mean light-bodied.
They really are, yeah.
I mean, 3.5 for a hen, that's almost bantam size.
You're
right
looking
there.
at Fayumi size there. Yeah.
Seriously.
Those are very small chickens.
Now they have V-shaped combs, which are really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's probably a gift from that old Polish Krevkor family.
Oh, yeah.
They also have that stand-up forward-facing crest that we talked about.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah. They have bluish-white earlobes, which I thought was unusual.
I swear to God, they need to be on an album cover.
Maybe they will.
We need a producer out there to hear this and be like, I want to make this album cover for this punk rock band.
Who's going to write their music?
We will.
Okay. They have slate blue legs and feet, and the silver, gold, and chamois color varieties have these absolutely gorgeous, beautiful spangled feathers.
I just like saying chamois.
Chamois.
They also come in solid black and blue.
Yeah, they're pretty.
They're
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are not driving and you have a way to look them up while we're talking about them, do yourself a favor right now and look them up. They're gorgeous.
Like so many other breeds, especially in Europe, they almost went extinct after World War II just ravaged the European countryside. But they were preserved by the work of a breeder in Germany, a man named Kurt Fischer.
Okay.
The silver-spangled Spitzhaubens were imported into the U.S. in the 1950s.
Not too far back.
And they're still the most popular color here, but they do remain a rare breed in this country.
The silver spangled, you're not going to get more beautiful than this, but they come in the other colors, which are just as pretty.
The gold and the chamois, yeah.
But the chamois, I just would like to say I have a chamois chicken.
I really like the silver, and I like the chamois too.
I would have to get a chamois just to say I have a chamois.
I would get a chamois because I think the chamois is pretty.
I just like saying it.
So at this point, the Spitzhauben is not recognized by the American Poultry Association.
What? They should be.
The Appenzeller Spitzhauben Club of America is working toward that goal. If you visit their website, you'll find the breed standard that they're promoting to the APA. Essentially, they state that their goal is to breed the silver-spangled Spitzhauben, which again is the most common variety.
I'm not surprised there.
As closely as possible to the Swiss standard.
That's smart.
Exactly. Now, for all other colors, the club is using UK standards, which is also smart.
I mean, when you think of Spitzhauben, the spangled is what you think of instantly.
Yeah, it is. It's what comes to mind. If you want to see some beautiful paintings of the 5 colors, head over to the Appenzeller Spitzhauben Club of America website.
That would be like a little vacation destination.
It's really
right there.
pretty, yeah.
Take a 5-minute vacation and go to the website and look at the beautiful colors of the Spitzhauben.
Now, we found in various sources that there may have been some outcrossing of the silver-spangled Spitzhaubens with Polish chickens here in the U.S., probably due to low numbers.
Right.
But what that means is that several faults are showing up in U.S. birds.
My guess is they have a little bit bigger crest.
Exactly.
Versus a mohawk.
Yeah, you're getting more Polish-like crests.
Right, versus just the mohawk.
Right. And there were also leg colors other than blue. That was
Right.
among the issues. So in order to produce fresh genetics and excellent conformation to the limited American gene pool, Greenfire Farms imported champion bloodline Spitzhaubens back in 2013.
That's why we love Greenfire Farms.
Absolutely.
Because they're helping us in the U.S. take these rare European breeds and first of all, make them accessible to us.
Yes.
And secondly, to go back and say, okay, we had some shady stuff in the genetics. Let's go back and start it over again. Let's start a new gene pool that is 100% pure.
Well, and they did that importation in 2013. So there's been 10 years of good work with fresh genetics on the Spitzhauben. Yeah.
They're very good layers of large white eggs. And I love myself some large white eggs.
Mm-hmm.
180 per year. They're going to bring you more joy than eggs, but that's okay.
That's still a respectable
That's
layer.
a respectable
Absolutely.
layer. They're not over that 200, but that's okay. And they occasionally go broody.
I would say at 180, I wouldn't be surprised if some individual hens
go up to 200.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always that flux in every individual. So they're occasionally going to go broody. We always say that every chicken has that possibility. Yep. They're not one that's going to be like an Orpington or Silky and want to sit on a rock if they could.
Right.
So that's good. If you don't want to hatch chickens, you're going to need another breed of chicken to sit on them.
Or an incubator.
Yeah.
So they're active birds. They love to forage. And this is important. They do not do well in close confinement.
The bigger the run you can build, the better.
If you free range them, you're going to have to
supervise.
Definitely.
We can't say this enough. Supervised free range, it's the way to go because you bond with your chickens during this time, first of all. And secondly, you are the guardian over the chickens and you're watching. I bring the girls out with me and they'll be like, honk, and then we like run around like crazy people and you're going to help keep your chickens alive that way.
The Spitzhauben probably does make a good homestead breed if you're willing to either build in that huge run and or give them supervised free range. They would be great garden helpers, and they produce a nice amount of eggs for a family kitchen.
Right. For a family of 4, you get 180 per chicken per year. It's going to be enough to feed you.
They are sometimes described as flighty, but we found several breeders who said they do have an excellent temperament. They're sometimes easily startled, and they will fly. Now, our best advice is get them back into their run well before sundown because apparently they like to roost in trees.
Oh. Well, when you're 3.5 pounds, you're going to be able to fly much easier than a cochin or a buff that's 9 pounds.
Well, again,
or a Brahma. So, you know, keep them in a big run and get them in well before dark from free range.
They're flighty in the truest sense of the word, meaning they can take flight. So the beautiful Spitzhauben is reasonably cold hardy, but you have got to watch that exposed V-comb. Those V-combs are like skinny.
Yeah.
They can get frostbite, and they could probably lose them to frostbite really easily.
They're 3.5 pounds.
Right.
So, you know, they don't have the big body mass to help keep them warmer like the big birds do. So panel heaters, they'll be better off, I think, in the heat. But we always say fans in the summer, heaters in the winter.
Right.
So where can we get the Spitzhauben?
Greenfire Farms carries the Spitzhauben in 3 beautiful colors, the silver spangled, the gold spangled, and the chamois. They're all straight run.
Because we want breeding of this chicken to continue. They're threatened. Don't forget, they're in the threatened category. So this would be a good conservation effort for a backyard farmer.
I could seriously see myself doing conservation breeding of this breed. I love this bird. I really do. Livestock Conservancy's breeder directory will also list breeders that may be near you. You should check that out.
My Pet Chicken also carries them.
So do some of the other U.S. hatcheries.
So you have to look around and try to get them. Chicks are hot right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Good luck in finding the chicks.
Right.
This is one that we want to see get popular. We want to see come off that threatened list. Who would not want a chicken with a mohawk? Come on. I mean, seriously.
This bird.
And spangled.
I would just be happy every day when I looked at this bird. Great hair and spangles. You can't go wrong.
Album cover, baby. Right? Album cover.
The Spitzhauben boy band. Well, that's why you need straight run. You can't have a boy band if you don't have roosters.
So if you have the Spitzhauben, please flood our Instagram with your pictures. We want to give you shares on our
potential album covers. We will give you credit.
Oh, yeah. We'll be writing those songs. You know it. So, yeah, send us your pictures. We would love to see them.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera.us.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Roosty's proudly sponsors Coffee with the Chicken Ladies.
We personally use Roosty's products with our chickens, and we're huge fans.
They have their awesome nesting pads, do-it-yourself feeder and waterer kits, and they've just released their best product ever, a new chick feeder and waterer set.
They have adjustable legs to keep food and water clean. They're super well made, and the feeder even has a removable lid so it can easily be filled from the top.
So if you're raising chicks or keeping chickens, all their products are available for Prime delivery on Amazon.com.
Check out the Roosty store on Amazon or follow the link in our show notes.
Okay, so now it's about that time for main topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were excited for this week's main topic. This week, we are welcoming Jessica and Vivian from
Greenfire Farms.
Yay! Here's the interview we had with them. Enjoy.
We have Jessica, farm manager, joining us, and we have Vivian. Vivian's a social media manager and part of the chicken crew. Ladies, welcome.
Big welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I'm so excited to be talking to you guys. I love your Instagram. Every time I'm posting, I scroll through. I'm like, let me see what Coffee with the Chicken Ladies posted today.
Thank you. We are excited to have you here. We love sending everyone over to Greenfire Farms because you have some of our favorite rare breed chickens. And of course, we're about rare breed and bringing them back. We want everyone to get those chickens. So we're super psyched to have you here. Tell us a little bit about the farm. Tell us about the early history, how it all got started over at Greenfire Farms.
Yeah, so Paul Bradshaw, he is the owner of Greenfire Farms. He started the farm in the early 2000s, but his primary focus was actually not chickens. It was actually larger livestock like cattle. But as time went on, there were some struggles that he was facing with the larger livestock. And then through farm chatter blogs, somehow he was introduced to a chicken breed called the Coronation Sussex. So he heard a lot about them. There was a lot of hype about them. People really wanted them, but they weren't here. I'm not sure exactly all the details, but essentially the farm started because of that breed. He managed to legally import them. And then because people were really interested in them, a pair of them were sold for $4,500. So at that point, he was like, wow, chickens, there's a big need for that here in the US and people are really interested in that. So why don't we switch the focus to chickens instead of cattle? So that's kind of where the inspiration came from. And then since then, it's kind of snowballed and evolved into where we are now.
The beautiful Coronation Sussex, for listeners who haven't checked them out, they look like a light Sussex, but instead of the black markings, it is lavender. They're absolutely exquisite birds.
And we talk about this when we do the breed spotlight for the speckled Sussex.
We talked to Coronation.
Because we did the whole Sussex, and one of our favorites is a speckled. But we talked about that chicken and the lavender and the beauty of the chicken and how rare breed it is.
Yeah, I was unaware that was the first breed, so that's fascinating.
And
it really is.
Yeah, the Sussex are awesome birds in general. I mean, we've got the light Sussex now, and they're just gentle giants. So I mean, they're really awesome. And I think even with the Coronation Sussex, because you had said that no one had them in the US at any point. So Paul likes to mention that because I think he got them from Australia.
Yeah, I believe so.
And he had watched this documentary or a video somewhere of a guy who claims that chicken saved his life. And, he was kind of a weird guy. And Paul was like, let me see what this is about with these Coronation Sussex. And
this sounds like one that we need to check out, Holly, and the documentary.
Yeah.
I love knowing the bird that started it all over there. I love that.
So for listeners who are, and I don't know how any of our listeners could be unfamiliar with you because we talk about Greenfire Farms all the time.
I think we mention them in every single episode.
Probably close to it.
Because we send everyone to you to get these rare breeds, and that's a lot of what we talk about.
Well, we've been doing a lot of the rare European breeds lately.
Exactly.
So Greenfire Farms specializes in rare European breeds and some of the American heritage breeds. Where did the love for these birds come from?
Well, I think it comes from several different sources, but chickens as livestock are, in my opinion, a little bit on the easier side compared to larger, livestock. They have their own set of challenges, yes, but it's not the same as with cattle or sheep or, that kind of thing. So I think it was, very practical, right? A lot of people can add chickens to their backyard flock. They can enjoy them. They don't need a massive setup like you would need if you have larger livestock. And then on the other side, another inspiration was, especially for Paul, he likes to say that, these rarer breeds, they just look cool. You don't have that element where it's kind of boring. That's not a thing with these rarer breeds. It's not in appearance. They have amazing and fascinating histories. Those are the two I can think of right now that are the two main pushing points. I grew up with chickens, so personally, I always loved going out there, just watching them. I mean, I could watch them forever. Yeah. They're just their antics, their personalities, very interesting. And then, the production side of it, where you get these amazing eggs, that's amazing. Right. You don't have to wait forever for that to happen with like other livestock. If you want beef, right, it takes a long time. Or with chickens, you get eggs, about 6 months old. They're popping out little tasty treats for for us to enjoy. And
so it stems back to Paul having inside of him to try to go and look for these rare breeds and bring them to the U.S. and introduce the U.S. citizens to these rare European breeds, which is really, really cool. So we know that the Coronation Sussex was the first. What are some of the earliest breeds that you imported?
Yeah, so first the Coronation Sussex, but the second one that Paul imported was the Swedish Flower Hens, then followed by the Ice Bar, now known as the Silver Reds Blue, then the Cream Leg Bar, and the next one that he imported were the Chocolate Orpingtons. So those were the top breeds that he first imported into the U.S.
Love it.
I've had Swedish flowers for a while, and I know my original Swedish flower line is from Greenfire Farms stock.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And I will say my oldest pair are 7 years old, and I will say that they are some of the most beautiful and the hardiest chickens, healthiest chickens I've ever had. I love them.
And now we both have leg bars, so that breed has stolen our hearts. Blue eggs, you got the leghorn in them. It's just amazing. Those breeds are a little bit more on the common side. The ones that you started out with that were rare. And that says something to the difference that you guys have made in the accessibility of these chickens. And we talk about it all the time.
Right. So those are all really amazing breeds. I do love the fact that a lot of people keep hybrid breed chickens and they tend to develop health problems. And just looking at, say, the Swedish flowers or the leg bars, they're just really healthy, dependable stock.
Yeah. Not only are they healthy, but like the Swedish flower hens, that's one of my personal favorite breeds we have. They're beautiful and like
the variety of
colors, the
so
color
pretty.
variety. It's with a lot of breeds you see, they have that color standard. They need to have this black with the white and these speckles. And with the Swedish flower, it's like,
Right.
There's some speckles on there. Got lots of colors, and I love that.
They look so different. I feel like when we put up Pete's portrait shots of the Swedish flowers, people just lose their minds. What is that chicken? What is that breed? Casper?
He's a Swedish flower.
Swedish flower hen rooster. I think he's probably one of the most visually stunning chickens I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So what are you considering right now the rarest or like the most specialized breed of chicken that you carry?
So I was looking into this a little bit because I know there are some breeds that are still very rare, but the rarest that I was able to find that we have here at the farm are the Ölandsdorf and the Old English Pheasant Fowl. Those two breeds are, I believe, at this point, the rarest that we do have. I mean, obviously, we have the Iam Samani, we have the Swedish Black Hen, Hedemora, Death Lair. Those are all rare breeds, but I do think that those two are the rarest right now.
I think the other ones that you mentioned are making a resurgence. And
I think so too.
Definitely.
And it's a testament to you guys. We just did a breed spotlight on the Ölands. And it does say a lot that people can come to you and get this chicken because it is one of the rarest of the rare chickens out there.
Yeah.
And they're so great. They're fun sized, right? But they come in all these, great colors. Their personality is just hilarious. Some of the roosters here, they think they're the biggest, baddest roosters on the whole farm.
It's the spirit of the chicken.
It's hilarious. I don't know. I love the breed a lot. Learning more about them has been really interesting.
That was a fun breed spotlight to do.
It was.
For a couple of reasons. We decided we needed to go to Olansk because
we did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a shepherd, so I keep sheep as well. And as a shepherd, when I did the research, it was a statement that I saw. Olansk is the second largest island of Sweden. I was like, I need to know what the largest is.
Yeah.
The largest is Gotland. And Gotland is famous for just some of the most exquisite sheep in the world. And so we were like, gorgeous sheep, gorgeous chickens. So what's the most popular breed that you're carrying right now?
So I think the most popular right now is the white breast or the American breast. Last year, it was honestly amazing. This breed essentially just skyrocketed in popularity. I think there were people who did like YouTube videos on them, maybe blogs about them or podcasts. I'm not exactly sure what instigated that increase in the demand. We sold out in like lightning speed. People were
you got us with
emailing
that
every day, calling every day. Do you have more? Can I get on a wait list? Do you have more? Can I get on a wait list? We're like, we are trying. We're sorry. We didn't know that this breed all of a sudden was just going to pick up so much in popularity. I mean, for good reason. The breast is one of the most popular, tastiest table breed, right? Of course, our auto-sexing breeds are always popular. So we have the Felix Elder, the Cream Egg Bar, and the 55 Flowery Hen. Those breeds are always popular. And right now, the 55, we've gotten a lot of interest for those this year too.
Because they lay those jumbo eggs, the 55 Flowery, and they're a relatively small bird. So it's kind of nice. I mean, you don't have to have a ton of space for them, but you get these massive eggs and they're auto-sexing, which is always a plus. But what's kind of interesting with the white breasts is, I mean, they're not like a new release. We've had them for years and there was never this huge demand for them. And then it was just instant. A ton of people wanted them and we didn't really have a large flock.
Our flock wasn't ready. We weren't ready.
Yeah, we could not keep up with the demand and we've increased our flock since then. But even now it's
we're still struggling to meet that demand. We're still going to keep growing our flock so we can still offer that breed to more people. I think one of the biggest shifts was the restaurant industry. More people were like, wow, this table bird, it's so interesting. It's supposed to be the tastiest. I want that for my, farm to table restaurant or what have you. So I think that has been like one of the biggest pushes, but it's been like mind blowing in my opinion. And
you got us with that one. I never would have guessed that bird as the most popular bird. I don't think I would have guessed it in 100 years.
We did a spotlight on the breast very early on.
Very early on.
December of the year we started the podcast. Yes. And what piqued our interest in it was because in a couple of different places in like old writings, I saw it mentioned as the 3 French hens in the 12 Days of Christmas.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Maybe everyone was listening to the song and they're like, I want that chicken.
Is that what it was?
That's the 3 French hen.
Maybe that's what it was.
And where can I get it? Greenfire Farms.
So what can the average backyard chicken keeper do to help with conservation effort for these super rare breeds?
Well, for one, learning about them is a huge thing. I mean, your podcast is great because it allows people who have never heard of these rare breeds or who may not even understand like what is a rare breed. It's a chicken. So like what's the big thing about them, right? So I think education is one of the biggest things for people learning about them or even educating others about them. But then obviously for dedicated hobbyists, we can't continue to preserve the breed if no one has them. So the more people that do decide to get invested in the mission or decide that, I want to be part of this, I want to help this breed come back and repopulate the numbers so that they're not going to die out. Backyard hobbyists are definitely one of the main people that I believe can be involved in this. Having these rare breeds, even if you're not interested in breeding them, you still get to enjoy them either by learning about their history or adding them to your flock and having that diversity, that variety of colors that you may not have with just regular chickens that you can just go get.
You're right. I think educating people on the different breeds that are out there. So many people, they're like, I want the red chicken. I want the white chicken. They don't quite understand that chicken breeds, there's a lot of them. So what you're doing with bringing the rare European and some of the heritage breeds back and making them accessible is helping all in itself. And the backyard farmer, like you said, they don't realize how important they are. Just having their own flocks and starting, it doesn't have to be a huge flock. And supporting you guys, if people can get them, they're going to keep going. Because the one thing we never want to see is a chicken go extinct and not be there anymore. Yeah. It is so important. And your work is so important where you guys are. What we're going to move into now, this really interests us. The importation process, what you can tell us. How hard or easy is this? And what are the steps?
We follow all of the USDA rules and regulations. So 2 years ago was my first time being involved in that. So I'll kind of just explain what I personally was involved in. So basically step one is going to the USDA website, looking up, do you want to import hatching eggs? Do you want to import adult birds? So both are accessible to you. It's just a matter of following those steps. Both have their own set of challenges. The main difference between deciding to import adult birds is that once they get into the US, they have to be quarantined for 30 days and then retested. And once they clear that, then you can take them home. With eggs, they just have to have, obviously, you have to have your permits and all that kind of thing. But they are accompanied with like a health certificate in their native country, wherever they're coming from. And once it's cleared, then you're able to proceed with that. And they don't have to be quarantined. They just can come straight from the airport straight to your farm. So there are challenges with both. With eggs, for instance, it's not necessarily they're all going to hatch, right?
And some breakages.
Yeah. And unfortunately, some people aren't the most honest. So you buy these eggs thinking that this is what you're going to get. And either they don't hatch at all, they're all unfertile, or They do hatch, but it's not what you thought it was supposed to be. Or the birds that do hatch are
not to breed standard
quality. Yeah. Or like super inbred, just like rough, it's like, well, that's a loss. We have to scrap that. So there's the challenges with that. And then obviously with the adult birds, I mean, it's really stressful for them going through that process. You breed these beautiful birds, but doesn't mean all of your offspring is also going to meet that. It can be kind of difficult, or you have the issue where your birds are inbred, so you don't get fertile eggs. You can't really see that at first glance. Those are the biggest challenges with either of those options.
Do you bring more adult chickens over or hatching eggs?
We've actually done both. It kind of just depends on what we're looking at, what we can get. It kind of depends on the year and what we're interested in and what's available.
We were just talking a few weeks ago to Jeanette Berenger over at the Livestock Conservancy. And we were talking about backyard chicken farmers creating conservation flocks. Inbreeding was a big subject that we were talking about, and some people see no problem with it, but there is a huge problem with it. Those chickens are not fertile after that.
Low fertility rates are, that's a very real problem.
It's a real big problem.
What that means to the public is that if you're buying an established breed, someone's buying birds from you, they're going to be good quality. And in the background, you have put in this immense body of work, the importation, all of the breeding time, working through fertility issues or things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. There's been times even where we've imported a breed and we end up with like one hen and one rooster. And then
what do you do?
It's like we don't
import again and try to get more birds. And by that point,
you end up with all roosters and you're like, okay, well, can't really do anything with that.
It's definitely worth the risk. We're definitely going to keep doing it and keep offering these rare breeds to people in the US, but it definitely has its challenges and it definitely does not always go as planned.
I want everyone out there listening to know the amount of work that you guys do, because this is immense. And this is why we love you guys. The amount of heart you put into it and just downright work to get to the point where you're putting on your social and putting on your website that these birds are available and that they're top quality and the work it takes to get them. This is an immense amount of work.
It is. And I would also add that Greenfire Farm is a farm. It's a working farm. It's not a hatchery. You're doing the work on site, the breeding work, all done by you and your crew. Exactly. Yeah.
We're a really small crew. So I think sometimes our customers forget that like we're not just a hatchery and we're hatching chicks. I mean, we're 4 people that work here total. We take care of the entire farm together. It's not just the chickens. We have pigs and it is a lot, but I think it's
fun and it's exciting. I think that's one thing that really sets us apart, in my opinion, is that we are working with the birds every day. We see them work. Like I collected eggs before, talking with you guys right now. So I'm out there collecting the eggs, seeing everything, getting pecked by the broody hens, all this stuff. And then, then we're also involved in customer service. Vivian is involved with social media. So she's out there not only, helping with the day-to-day farm stuff, but also taking this amazing footage and pictures for people to see so that they can learn about the breed, see them in action. Some photos that people put out are like super edited staged photos, like where this is them, they're just out, here they are getting mealworms, like this is it.
Vivian, you do an amazing job on your social media. Your videos, your reels are so cute and so clear. I love seeing the chickens. You do an amazing job.
I love all the chick photos. I love to see the chick.
You're 4 people with these huge hearts for loving chickens, and you always have chickens available to people and the rarest breeds. You deserve all the credit. That is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So people can go to Greenfire Farms website. They can buy chicks. They can buy hatching eggs if they're available. Are you open for drive-up business?
So no, we are not. So we used to allow farm tours, I think way back in the day when the farm first started, but the state officials recommended that we stop that for biosecurity reasons. So we were like, you guys know what's best. So we stopped allowing farm tours. We have like a virtual farm tour. We're going to hopefully make another one this year. So stay tuned for that. If people are local and want to just pick up their order of eggs or chicks, they can meet us at the post office when we go to drop off all the chicks and eggs. So they can just meet us there. We'll coordinate the time and then they can get them without them being shipped to down the street. They can just pick them up.
I wish we were close to you guys.
Seriously.
Although we would have so many chickens. We could stop and have coffee with you guys and pick up the chickens.
Yes,
That'd be great.
That would be lovely.
I would be just, no, I could. I'd be like, one more breed. No, I need them too.
Yeah.
Wait, I need
Wait.
Chicken math is real. You say you're starting with one, and then it's like my mom. She's like, I'll take 10 chicks. Every time I go home, do you have any chicks for me? I'm like,
there you go.
I think you have enough, but.
You work really hard on the farm. You're there all the time. Do you have your own flocks?
I recently bought my first house. Yes, I want to own my own flock. I'm going to make a cool coop and I'm going to have that. But right now I do not. My parents, however, I have definitely supplied many of chickens for them to enjoy. So I can enjoy them when I go home.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I mean, right now I live in an apartment and can't have chickens, although I would love to. I think my cat would love to have a chicken running around. But same deal. I've given my mom so many of our birds and she absolutely loves them. I'm actually also in the house buying process at the moment. So I'm hoping to also start my own flock.
Yeah.
Any funny stories, day-to-day crazy stuff, or not day-to-day, anything like really, really weird that's ever happened?
So I have a memory when I think I was here, it was like my second year working here at the farm. We used to have this breed called the Lyonnaise chicken. They were one of my favorites. That rooster was my favorite rooster on the farm. I just loved his personality.
He was a great rooster.
He just, stole my heart. So anyway, we had let them out that day so they could run around and, forage for worms, grass, whatever, just do their chicken thing. I was actually starting to collect eggs that day. So I was, nest box was open, I'm walking around and I hear this super loud, rooster alert, like, oh my God, something's going on. And then I hear a hen kind of scream a little bit. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And I look and there's a hawk that had swooped down and grabbed this hen. And I'm like stunned. I'm like, what? Oh my God. This split second, this rooster is hightailed it over there. He kicked that hawk with everything in his mind.
He was small too, the rooster. He wasn't like a large, lean fighter type, but he's small.
He just ran over so fast. That hawk looked like, oh my goodness, was shocked. He flew off and the rooster is like running after him while the hen is running toward the coop. And I'm like, did anyone else see that? I was like, did you see that?
I was like, no, I heard it.
Please tell me the hen was okay.
Yeah, she lost a couple feathers, but totally physically okay.
How much acreage is Greenfire Farms? I mean, what are you sitting on acreage wise?
The property itself that's owned by Paul, I believe, is about 100 acres, but the farm itself, because we have like an orange grove and we're working on making wildflower meadows and that kind of thing. So the actual chicken farm, I'm going to say it's about 10 acres-ish.
Nice.
I could be off on that, but I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Did I hear you're going to have like an orange grove and wildflowers? I'm coming to visit you guys.
Yeah. One of the things I love about visiting your website and about your socials is when you show footage of the birds in their pens, because they're on grass. They have these big runs. It's really, really beautiful the way you keep them.
Yeah, we try our best to make sure they're comfortable and healthy and happy.
I get donations of produce from like a local small zoo here. So sometimes I get overflow produce donated. So I'm like, I will take produce for the chickens. They will love that, Yeah. We get blueberries sometimes or like nice fruits and veggies. The chickens love it. Watermelon is a great one. Oh, chickens love the watermelon and it's great.
Especially in the summer.
They're like drinking the watermelon juice. And then pumpkins in the fall. I get donated pumpkins from my local pumpkin patch and they love it.
They're living good down there.
they're living it up there in Florida. It's warm. So how many breeds do you have on the farm right now?
So we have 40 breeds that we are actively offering to the public, of which we have a few that we have, different color varieties of. So like the Spitzhauben, the Bielefelder, the Orloff, the Deathlayer, and the Morans. Once you count all of that, we're about 50 breeds.
That's amazing. You said Spitzhauben and you had me right there.
I told you. Do you have all three of the Spitzhauben colors?
Yeah, the first was the silver, but we recently imported, I think a couple of years ago, the chamois and the gold variety.
The chamois makes me lose my mind. It's so gorgeous. I was looking through the breeds last night planning the interview, and you have some Wyandottes that are just exquisite. I mean, really beautiful, beautiful chickens.
When I first started working here, I'd never seen a chicken that color, and I was like blown away. And then they're also just so fluffy. They have one of the fluffiest butts on the farm, and it's just so cute.
Yeah.
Lavender Wyandotte. That's a stunner right there.
And that's the American breed within the Europeans.
Right.
I mean, that's 100% an American breed and heritage breed at that.
What's the Cochin color variety that you have?
We have the blue and black partridge Cochins, a large fowl Cochin. They're one of my favorite breeds. I just love the fluff, and their color is very, I don't know, I love the color. The partridge is so pretty on the hens.
Like you took blue, black, and partridge and put them together, and my brain just melted. Cochins were my first breed. Mm-hmm. And the funny story there is my slightly older sister and I went to the same college, and we graduated very close to each other. And we planned a celebratory trip. We'd never been abroad. So we went to the UK. And we went to the Duchess of Devonshire's house, Chatsworth, and she had in the kitchen garden this huge flock of buff Cochins just out there with other people. And we said, we're going home, we're getting chickens, and they're going to be Cochins. Check all the boxes. One of my absolute favorite breeds. And partridge is gorgeous. Blue is gorgeous. What does it look like when you put it all together? I got to go look.
They're very cool. Someone interviewed Jessica for like a magazine, and she had us take some pictures with birds, and we had a Cochin. Jessica was holding a Cochin, and I had a watermail rooster in my hand. And just to show the size difference, and the Cochin takes up Jessica's entire torso, and the watermail is like maybe that big. Tiny itty bitty little thing. And it's, I mean, they're massive birds, but they're beautiful.
And they're so calm.
They're so calm. They don't care about anything.
I'm cruising through life, just at their own speed, enjoying it.
Congratulations on the magazine. The more that you can get your word out there, the better for these rare breed chickens. So congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's talk about what the future looks like for Greenfire Farms. Any upcoming projects or any
new breeds?
Yeah, we have a few things. The main one, which I hope everyone is excited about, is that we are planning to do another import this year. COVID unfortunately derailed us last year, so we weren't able to do an import. But this year, the plan is to do one in a couple months, actually. So it's go time. And hopefully we're going to acquire new bloodlines for existing breeds that we already have to strengthen that, and a few new ones that aren't here in the US yet. And I'm really excited for that. We are hoping to build new, larger pens so that we can house larger flocks out in those large field pens. And then we're also hoping to upgrade our hatching space so that we have a little more room, and it will hopefully make the hatching experience and process more efficient, as well as the quality control process too. So those are three big things I'm really looking forward to this year. I am so excited for that.
Yeah, the hatching room is what I'm really excited for. And the new pens. Jessica, I mean, we all helped build the pens last year, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So we're out there too, just securing wire, digging the trenches. So we're all out there involved in every process. So we can all say like, this is what it's like working at a farm that has chickens or having chickens. So I'm really excited about that.
How long does it take from the time you import birds or eggs to when they're available to the public?
It really depends on how many make it to maturity, or how many, if we do the import of adult birds, like how many are we even able to get offspring? How do the offspring look? Another factor is how many made it. So if we can't establish a large enough breeding flock to support demand for orders, we're going to wait until we can support that. So it's a few different factors that go into it. If things go great and there aren't many bumps in the road, we'll have them out 1 to 1.5 years or 2. But if it takes longer, I mean, it can be upwards of 5 years before we're ready to release them. It really just depends on what we're dealing with and how quickly we can get to that end result. But
it's a journey of love, you know, like
it has to be.
It has to be. You get attached to these chickens and you want to see success. You want to see them going. Yeah. And then to the point where you're adding them to the website is like the party time. Like, you're going out.
Finally, we're counting down the days. Like, I can't wait for people to see them. We're like, can you guys guess this breed? We're like trying to get it out on social media to see if people can guess. If they can't guess, you know, I don't know. It's just kind of exciting.
That's fun. I like that. That's fun.
We always love when you put up the long crowers and all. I mean, we love those videos. That must be so much fun to have them around all the time. Now, do you have a laughing crower? You do, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would laugh every time that chicken crows. I would be laughing with him. I love them. Every week we work together, but sometimes we just bring up the videos of the long crowers and just laugh for a while. It's an entertainment for us.
I think you want the Amkatawa and I want the Denise Lee.
Yeah, they're really
When we first got them, I was just like, is he okay? Like, take a breath. Are they okay? It's like they like go for so long and then they go, they take a deep breath. It's just, it's so funny.
Like, how big are those air sacs you have? They have to like major, large amount of air. And you're like, are they going to stop?
It's amazing.
But then we try to get it on video.
I was just going to say,
it's like they look at you and they're like, no.
Yeah, if you want to record them crowing, they won't crow. But the second you turn around or you're recording someone else, they're like, oh, I'll crow now.
It's got to be fun. So much work, but so rewarding to bring these chickens back. And especially to the people of the U.S. who normally can't get them. Yeah. Just amazing stuff.
You're going to get the question that we ask everyone. We'll take you one at a time. Vivian first. What is your favorite breed or breeds? Because we know there might not just be one.
Yeah, there's definitely more than one. One of my top favorites would have to be the Barbu Watermail. They are so funny. I mean, they're so tiny, but they have such a big personality. It's like the smaller the chicken, the feistier they are, the meaner they are, honestly. I mean, the roosters are pretty aggressive, but they're like 1.5 pounds. So, it's like funny.
You don't even feel them hitting you. You're like, what?
Yeah, you turn around and the rooster's puffed up and he's just pecking at your leg. And it's like, it's funny. The hens are amazing. They're really sweet and they're so vocal. And when they run, their little feet kick out to the side.
Yeah, and they're spoiled here.
They get let out every day. They're the only breed that truly, I think, gets let out.
They're standing at that door, like yelling at you.
Yeah. If you walk by and you don't open their door, they're all like freaking out because they want to get let out. They're cute. Yeah. So they're definitely up there. But I mean, the Cochins, we talked about those. Love the Cochins. The Shetland hen, honestly, I love the Shetland hen. They're little crests. Sometimes it's hard for them to kind of see. Yeah. So we go in there and, I pick one up and they're like, oh my God, I didn't even know you were there. Yeah, those guys are pretty cute. I like the Shetland hen.
And their egg color is
the egg color is great.
They lay a blue?
It's like a greenish blue.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are probably my top breeds. I mean, I love every breed we have.
Okay. Jessica?
So apparently this is a crowd favorite, but also the Cochins. I mean, I just really like the sweet, docile birds, and they're just so fluffy. I mean, the chicks are little like fluff balls when they hatch.
They're so cute.
My goodness, it's just amazing. I have a favorite rooster now. It's the silver Spitzhauben rooster. He is just so attentive to his hens.
He's so good.
When he tidbits and makes his noises, he's just so excited about everything. He's one of my favorite birds on the farm. And then my third favorite is the Pita Pinta Asturiana. I just love the mottled color, like the mottled pattern. We have both the black mottled and the red mottled here, but their eggs are just so big and a nice tinted color. I don't know. And I like how the red mottled specifically here, I don't know. They just love to be all up in your business. So they will follow you around. They're always looking up at you like, do you have mealworms? Do you have snacks? What's going on today? Like, they just want to be there. I don't know. I like their personality. I just love the mottled pattern. It's so pretty.
We just did a breed spotlight on them not too long ago. Yeah. And we both asked each other which one was our favorite. And I said the red mottled because you see so many black and white mottled chickens, but red mottled is kind of different. It's a fun chicken. And you're right. They're so beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
And their eggs are gorgeous. And another chicken that needs help.
Well, this has been, a delightful chat. It's really, really great to get to hear about some of the things that go on the inside of the farm. Jessica and Vivian, thank you so much for spending a delightful hour with us, telling us all of your stories, sharing your favorite breeds. We've just had a fantastic time.
Thank you. We have amazing. Yeah. Thank you guys for having us.
I love meeting you girls, and I love your enthusiasm for the chickens. It really shines through. It's so nice to see that these chickens are being taken care of by somebody who really loves them and cares about them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Prospective customers can find you at greenfirefarms.com. And you're on Facebook and Instagram.
And it was so great to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We just want to thank Jessica and Vivian and the Greenfire Farms crew one more time for spending a really nice hour getting us caught up with the farm and the chickens there.
It was so much fun talking and chatting with them over there.
And make sure you go visit Greenfire Farms' website. It's linked in the show notes.
It's awesome. Okay, so let's move on to...
Cracking the eggs.
Cracking those eggs. This week's Cracking the Eggs is going to be a recipe at Sophia's graduation party. So this week, we're talking
Lady Baltimore cake. And honestly, I pulled this recipe out just because it uses almost a dozen eggs.
Right now, we're in this, like, if you're a friend of mine, you're getting lots of eggs.
I love you. Here's 3 dozen eggs.
Here's 3 dozen eggs. Here you go.
Yep.
Because I want someone to be able to eat them, and we eat them constantly, but we can't eat what we're getting. The other day, I think we got like 18 eggs in one day.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Staggering numbers.
Definitely.
Well, the Lady Baltimore cake is a white cake, and it only uses egg whites, both for the frosting and the cake itself.
So what did you do with your yolks?
I put some of them in salt for salt-cured egg yolks, which I love grated on pasta, and I love grated into soups.
Right.
And then I cooked some of them for the dogs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to waste those, that's for sure.
No.
Okay, so let's go through the ingredient list of the Lady Baltimore cake. The name of this cake reminds me of going down to the Baltimore Harbor and getting on the Lady Baltimore ship and going cruising the harbor and going under the Key Bridge and then turning around and come back. It's a local thing, but that's what it takes me back to.
I think it was named for the Lady Baltimore Tea Room, which is down south in the Carolinas or Georgia or something. But yeah.
But we're Baltimore girls, so
Lady Baltimore.
It takes me there. Okay, so you're going to need a stick of butter or dairy-free butter at room temperature. Whole stick of butter. That's a lot of butter.
Mm-hmm.
2 cups of sugar. 3.5 cups of cake flour. Now, keep in mind, this is a little different. We normally say all-purpose, but it's not. It's cake flour.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gluten-free, you're going to use 3 cups of the gluten-free flour and 1/3 cup of cornstarch or arrowroot powder to kind of offset what you needed to do.
Exactly, right.
Okay? A tablespoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I just brought some back from Mexico.
And I used it in this cake.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
1 1/4 cups of milk or plant milk, and Holly Ann uses oat milk. It's the thickest, richest that you can use. And then the 6 egg whites.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go into the frosting and the filling ingredients. 4 egg whites, 1.5 cups of sugar. I would probably put that to 2. That's just me.
You actually can. Yeah, you can take it up that high.
A teaspoon of cream of tartar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2/3 cups of water, a cup of dried chopped medjool dates, 3/4 cup chopped pecans, and 2 tablespoons of sherry, rum, brandy, cognac, or whiskey.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
You can put them all in or just one.
Traditionally, it's a sherry.
Yeah.
Or rum.
Okay, so let's go on to make the cake.
So you're going to preheat the oven to 350. You're going to grease 2 8-inch cake pans, or this makes a really big cake. So you can do 2 high-sided 8-inch cake pans, or you can fill 3 9-inch pans with this.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I did it at 8 and it took way longer to bake than it would for the 9s.
Okay.
So if you go to our website to get this recipe, I'll have it broken down like this size pan for this long.
Right.
The cake is actually quite easy to make. You're going to have a large mixing bowl, cream together the butter and the sugar till they're pale and fluffy.
That's how you start most all recipes for cakes and cookies.
In a medium bowl, and this is especially important with the gluten-free, you're going to sift these ingredients. Sift the flour, the cornstarch if you're gluten-free, or arrowroot powder, the baking powder, and the salt. Then you are going to take the milk. You're going to add the vanilla extract to that milk.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to alternately add the dry ingredients and the milk.
Okay.
In about 3 additions.
Into your cream mixture.
Into your creamed butter and sugar. Exactly. You're going to set that aside. You're going to take those egg whites, beat them until stiff peaks form. Grab your butter mixture. You're going to take about 1/3 of the egg whites.
Okay.
And you're going to fold them into the batter.
Okay.
Then you're going to fold the remainder in once you've lightened it with that first bit. This batter's a little stiff, so you're going to use some muscle on this one.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be making those muscles.
Lady Baltimore is a delicate, beautiful cake, but it requires some oomph to get it done.
And then comes the good part, pouring it in the pans.
Exactly. Put it in the pans. If you're doing the 9s, you're looking at about 25 minutes. If you're doing the 2 8s, you're looking at about 40 minutes, honestly.
And then take it out and always let it cool.
Let it cool completely. Now, the filling and frosting, this is essentially a 7-minute frosting. It's a cooked frosting.
Okay.
You're going to set up a double boiler on the stove over simmering water. You're going to want a bigger pan of simmering water and a smaller pan that sits on top of it. You're going to put the egg whites, the sugar, the salt, the cream of tartar, and the water in the top pan.
Mm-hmm.
Put that over top the simmering water and beat it with your handheld mixer while it cooks. You don't have to have it on high or anything. You just slowly beat it. It should take about 7 or 8 minutes to cook. That's why it's called 7-minute frosting.
Right.
Take it off the heat. Add the vanilla. At this point, I pour it into a bowl because it's going to increase in volume a lot. So I pour it into a bowl and you continue beating until the frosting becomes shiny and stiff.
Okay.
You're going to take about half of the frosting, put it in a bowl with whatever nuts and dried fruit you're using. Now, when I did this, I did all dates and pecans because they just go so well together. Mm-hmm. So you take the dried fruit, the nuts, the alcohol, half of the cooked filling, mix that in a bowl. That's what you're going to fill the cake with.
Okay.
Take your cold cake, put that between the layers, the other half, and it's actually really easy to frost because this frosting is like marshmallowy.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to cover the top and sides with it, and you have this incredibly delicious and beautiful showstopper of a cake.
And we will be eating some tonight after we record.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's good.
It's going to be yummy. So if you want to try this, it sounds a little complicated, but it's not. Just follow the recipe. You'll be good. Send us some pictures. Let us know if you like it. We want to know.
This is a great cake for graduate. It is a great cake for graduation.
Party.
Yes, yes.
So let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, we're going to keep it short and sweet. Something that we've been looking at lately and we really like. They are the metal chicken lawn ornaments.
Oh, they're super cute.
Oh my goodness. They're beyond cute.
They're generally black in color, and it's like a black silhouette.
Like an iron.
Usually with cutouts for details on the chickens. And they're on a stake, essentially.
Yeah, and you can put them all around your run, around your garden, somewhere else. You know, you want to do more chicken decor, because why not more chicken decor?
They are really cute. Now, you had a brand that you liked.
I do, and it's RealSteel. You can find them online. They had the cutest little chicken family that you can put out in your garden so that you can represent even over there. And this isn't chicken, but I liked it. They had the gnome plant.
The plant markers.
The markers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you don't get cuter. Now, if you Google chicken iron garden ornaments, bunches. I'm talking bunches come up.
Yeah, there are plenty.
So you can just go look and see what kinds you like, and they're everywhere. They're on Walmart, they're on Amazon, they're at Tractor Supply. I actually did just get one at Tractor Supply myself for $10. They're just fun, and you want to decorate your house with what you live with, your chickens.
I think that's a really, really fun thing for spring gardening.
I love it. So check them out. Let us know what you think. If you have some, send us pictures. We'll give you a share on stories. Okay, so let's tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week.
Next week, we are revisiting the ever-popular Morans.
Yay! And I have 2 of them.
Our main topic, we are interviewing Tova Danovich. She has a brand new book out called Under the Henfluence.
Yes, she does.
Cracking the eggs. We are doing Dutch baby pancakes.
It's going to be so yummy.
So good. And I'm really excited about this one too. Retail therapy, we are talking all about Martha Stewart's vintage chicken collectibles.
And there are a lot of them. And let me tell you, we're crazy about them. So what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens.
Every day and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.